Today our subject matter is enzymes. This is for second year zoology honors students, 6th paper, unit 2. Enzymes are organic catalysts. They can accelerate the rate of reaction, a thermodynamically possible reaction. Enzymes are protein in nature. They are simple protein or conjugated protein. Simple protein has no non-protein part, but conjugated protein has a protein part that is called apoenzymes and a non-protein part that is called coenzyme or prosthetic group. Enzymes can change the covalent bonds in some substances called the substrates, and it converts the substrates into products. Enzyme has an active site by which it can bind with the substrate. Enzymes do not change the nature of any reaction, and by the reaction enzyme is unchanged. That is, at the end of any reaction, enzyme can be used again. According to the International Union of Biochemistry, the enzyme is grouped into 6 major classes, and each class with 4 to 13 subclasses. If you refer the chart, then you can observe the 6 major classes, that is oxidoreductases, transferases, hydrolases, lyases, isomerases and ligases. Oxidoreductases catalyze oxidations and reductions of their substrates. Oxidation is carried out by the removal of electron or by the addition of oxygen. Reduction is the opposite change. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase removes electron from CHOH group of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to change it to DHAP, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Transferases transfer a particular group from one substrate to another. That is, the example is nicotinamide methyl transferase of liver transfer a C-methyl group from S-adenosylmethionine to nicotinamide. Hydrolases cleave their substrates by hydrolyzing a covalent bond. That is, pancreatic lipase hydrolases an ester bond in a triacylglycerol molecule to produce diacylglycerol and a fatty acid. Lyases cleave a covalent bond in the substrate to convert it to more than one product, but the reaction does not involve any hydrolysis. L-aromatic amino acid decarboxylase of liver cleaves a double carbon bond in 3-hydroxytryptophan to produce serotonin and carbon dioxide. Isomerase changes their substrates to their isomers by intramolecular rearrangement. Phosphohexose isomerase of muscle and RBC catalyzes the interconversion of glucose 6-phosphate and fructose 6-phosphate. Ligases bind two substrates together by forming a covalent bond between them. Acetyl-CoA carboxylase of liver and adipocytes join the carbon of carbon dioxide to the methyl carbon of acetyl-CoA to form malonyl-CoA. If we consider the active site of enzyme, then we can see this active site binds to substrate and breaks the covalent bond to form enzyme substrate complex, which in turn forms the product and the intact enzyme releases. if we refer to the Fisher's lock and key model, then we can find that active site of enzyme fits perfectly to the binding site of a substrate and form ES complex, and after the transitional stage product is obtained. According to the Koshland's induced fit model, the active site is not properly fitted with the substrate binding site. So, the substrate can undergo a conformational change to fit with the enzyme active site, and we obtain the product. By these two models, you can understand the enzyme action properly. If we consider the prosthetic group and the coenzyme, then we can find there is a comparison between them. Prosthetic group is a non-protein ligand remain covalently bound to apoenzyme and do not dissociate from them easily. Coenzyme is also a non-protein component, organic compound also, bind very loosely and transiently to the apoenzyme, and it can usually attached by a non-covalent bond. Prosthetic group participate repeatedly in the reactions catalyzed by such enzymes, but in case of coenzyme, they participate in a single reaction catalyzed by the enzyme. Here, this is the coenzyme, example NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, and this is the FAD, prosthetic group, and this is the active site. It is attached to the enzyme tightly, but the coenzyme detaches itself easily, or it is attached to the enzyme loosely. Enzyme kinetics, that is Michaelis-Menten model. If we refer the Michaelis-Menten equation of enzymes, then we can observe that if the substrate concentration is increased progressively from a very low level, the enzyme activity at first rises proportionately. Ultimately, at a high substrate concentration, the initial velocity reaches the maximum velocity, which is the Vmax, which cannot be exceeded by any rise in substrate concentration. This is indicated by the rectangular hyperabolic form of the substrate saturation curve obtained by plotting the initial velocity V0 against the molar concentration of S. Km is therefore the molar concentration of the substrate, when half of the Vmax is attained. Many enzymes obey these hyperabolic saturation kinetics. Enzyme here is the limiting factor. Ultimately, at a high substrate concentration, all enzyme molecules are saturated with substrate molecules and act at their maximum capacity, so V0 reaches Vmax. If we invert the Michaelis-Menten equation, this is the Michaelis-Menten equation, that is V0 is equal to Vmax into the molar concentration of substrate by Km plus the molar concentration of substrate. This is the Michaelis-Menten equation for a single substrate enzymatic reaction. On inverting this reaction, we will find the Lineweaver-Burke reciprocal plot, double reciprocal plot rather. Plotting 1 by V0 against 1 by S give a straight line called the Lineweaver-Burk plot or the double reciprocal plot. Its vertical or y-intercept gives 1 by Vmax and its slope is Km by Vmax, and its extrapolated line that is x-intercept, it amounts to minus 1 by Km, and the equation is 1 by V0 by Km plus S by Vmax into S. This is the Lineweaver-Burk plot, and we can obtain it by inverting the Michaelis-Menten equation. So this is the hyperabolic curve that is based on Michaelis-Menten equation, and the substrate concentration Vmax, V0, Km is already described. The factors that has the capability to affect enzymatic activity include temperature, water, pH, substrate concentration, enzyme concentration, inhibitors, end products, activators, radiation, etc. Enzyme can act its best at a perfect temperature range, that is called optimum temperature. Similarly, enzyme also act its best in an optimum pH. Enzyme is the limiting factor in the enzyme substrate reaction, and a provision for more enzyme molecule enables them to act on proportionately more substrate molecules. And inhibition of enzymes include three types: competitive inhibition, non-competitive inhibition, and uncompetitive inhibition. In competitive inhibition, the inhibitor competes with substrate for the site or active site rather, and this conformation fits this active site properly both for substrate and inhibitor. But in case of non-competitive inhibition, the substrate binds to a site of enzyme and inhibitor binds to another site. So it can bind with ES complex also. That is, the inhibitor can bind with ES complex and there is an inhibition arises and we do not obtain the product. In case of uncompetitive inhibition, the substrate is inhibited from binding to the enzyme. So here also the enzyme substrate complex is bound with the inhibitor and no product is found. Lastly, ribozyme. We will conclude this chapter with ribozyme. Ribozymes are RNA enzyme that catalyzes a chemical reaction. This catalyzes specific chemical reaction in a similar way to that of other enzymes. It has a role in RNA splicing, tRNA biosynthesis, viral replication, etc. etc. In our next slide, we can find that myotonic dystrophy protein kinase mRNA, that is mutant, and ribozyme is operating here, and this mRNA is repaired. So the repair mechanism is done by ribozyme. So that is all for today. Thank you.